Summer's almost gone. It's August 2023, and it might finally be the time to pull the trigger on a new Gladiator. Now, back in 2021, I was in the market for a third vehicle. It needed to be, or I wanted it to be, a mid-sized truck, and of course, I wanted it to be a Gladiator. These dealers would not consider taking even a penny off MSRP, but the tide has certainly turned. And I recently saw Jeep announce some pretty big discounts on the Gladiator. So let's take a look at the website and see what they're actually offering. Now, back in 21, when I was shopping for a Gladiator, and before I ultimately pulled the trigger on a base model Toyota Tacoma, I wasn't looking at the Rubicon. As a matter of fact, the market was so tight, and knowing the dealers wouldn't deal, I was willing to go for a Sport S with the max tow. That's a really high value rig, especially if it's something that you're going to tow with and ultimately you're going to build up yourself. So let's take a look at a Sport S with the max tow and see what that would cost with the current discount. Now, let me back up a second. The Sport S with the max tow package is a high value Gladiator, not necessarily a high value rig. My base Toyota Tacoma SR model came from the factory with more standard equipment than the Sport S does. But let's not get into that debate. I would still rather have a Gladiator any day of the week. So let me see. We'll go with white just to keep things simple and avoid the additional cost of paint. And the only option I'm going to select here is the max tow package. Now, when you move to the max tow, it changes your axles and it also moves you to an automatic transmission. So let's find it and see what the cost would be with the current discount. Max tow package, let's add it. 43,609. And here's what comes standard when you make that move. You go to the 8-speed and you go from a 373 axle ratio to a 410 axle. Now, 2023, with these sort of discounts, I would be looking at the Rubicon or the Mojave. Back when I was in the market and actively shopping Gladiators, I test drove a Sport S, I test drove a Rubicon, and I test drove a Mojave. Of the three, I preferred the softer ride of the Rubicon. Yes, the Mojave has some super rad Fox shocks, and if I didn't have a 392 to run the dunes with, I might consider the Mojave. But based on the way I would use the Gladiator, Rubicon would be the way that I would go. So let's build one up the way I would build one up and see what the final cost would be with the current discount. What a bummer that they don't offer Anvil or Earl Grey on the Gladiator. That would be, one of those two colors would be my first choice, probably Anvil number 1, Earl number 2. A lot of these colors I like on the Gladiator, but if it were me, I would probably go with white. I like the white with the red Rubicon accents on the Gladiator. And I also like not paying for a paint color. I would want the steel bumper. I've had it on both of my JLs. I like it. I would definitely want the forward-facing trail cam, even though $795 is highway robbery, but I wouldn't want to deal with installing one aftermarket. You know, I do know that Z Automotive, though, has a module where if you do the taser, you can add a camera, but for the sake of this exercise, I would just go ahead and pay for it from the factory. I could go black hardtop, but I think the white Rubicon with the white color matched hardtop looks super sick. So that's what I would go with. Let's go with the color matched hardtop. So that's another $2,900. We're at $52,591. What other options could I not live without? Let's see here. I would go ahead and add the bed liner, which, you know, another comparison with the Tacoma. The Tacoma has a resin bed, No need for a spray-in bed liner. I would want to do the floor mats from the factory. I like those. Again, $170 is far overpriced, but I do like the factory mats. Don't need it, don't need it, don't want it. I do like the aux switches, so I would want to add those. I live in Michigan, so cold weather group isn't even an option. It's a must. What else do I need? Let's see. LED lighting is already included with the steel bumper. And I want the trailer tow package. So there you have it. The price would be $55,268. So that's a savings of $6,087 off MSRP. Not bad considering where this market was a few years ago. And yes, MSRP has gone up since 2021. The cost of each and every option has gone up since 2021. But if there was a time to consider adding a Gladiator to the fleet, now might be the time. And you know what? Since this would be a third vehicle and would be replacing a base Toyota Tacoma, I don't need all of the options that I put on that last build. So let's take a look at a more bare bones Rubicon to see what that price would be given the current discount. So we'll stick with white. We'll skip the forward facing trail cam and the steel bumper that I love, but for the sake of this exercise, we will skip those two options. Let's go with the black hardtop instead of the color matched hardtop. And listen, let's skip every other option on the menu, even the cold weather group and the auxiliary switches that I just said I couldn't live without. But for the sake of this exercise, let's skip those as well. Now, you can't have a Gladiator without a tow package. Again, Toyota comes standard with a Reese hitch, and I need to pay Jeep for one on a Gladiator. Not cool. But my final cost would be $50,974, still a significant saving. So I think I'm going to need to make a trip to a few local Jeep dealers, give a Rubicon a test drive, give a Mojave another chance. And if I do that, I'll bring you along for the journey and share my insights and my experiences. So anyhow, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, tell all of your Jeep fanatic fans about the channel, and let me know if you pull the trigger on a Gladiator. All the best. Take care.